Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you guys are back with us for another edition of the Coach's Corner. We're here at the Tivoli Tap House, the brewery right here on the Auraria campus. You guys can feel free to come by here as we broadcast the show live every Monday at 5:30. I'm Celeste, Zubia, and with me is Sean Tafoya. Sean, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Super pumped to be here tonight.
Yeah, so glad to have you. So tell us, what do we have in store for the audience today?
All right, so first off, we're going to have the head baseball coach, Jerrid Oates, on the docket. We'll also have indoor track and field interim head coach, Janis Christopher, and then we'll have track and field distance runner, Sam Berg, coming up in our third segment tonight. So pretty solid lineup, Celeste.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. But before we get, to having our three special guests, let's recap to the audience what happened with this last weekend's sports for MSU Denver. So we will start with the men's team, and they finished off their regular season with losses against Colorado Christian and Colorado Mines. They finished the season with a 12-10 record in the RMAC, earning the 5th seed in the conference tournament, and they'll head to Regis this Tuesday for first-round action.
The women's team split their final series of the regular season, earning a win over Colorado Christian, but falling in overtime to the Colorado School of Mines. The Red and Blue finished the RMAC season with a 14-8 record and will face off against UC Colorado Springs in the first round of the RMAC tournament this Tuesday night.
The baseball team took on Sioux Falls this past weekend at home and took 2 of the 3 games. In Game 1, Beecher Struby and Tony Iacovetta combined to just give up just 4 earned runs, while Cale O'Donnell came through with the offense, clearing the bases full of Roadrunners in the 4th inning to lead his team to the 6-4 win in Game 1 of the series.
Now, how about some softball as they kicked off conference play at home? Cassie Smith pitched a gem in Game 1 versus the Thunderwolves, giving up just 1 run, while also chipping in the offensive side, crushing a pitch over the center field wall to propel the Roadrunners to a 9-1 win. Head coach Annie Van Wetzinga led her team to a 4-game sweep and are now at 10-7 on the season after winning 2 games today.
And finally, the indoor track and field team took part in the RMAC Championship in Spearfish, South Dakota this past weekend. Julian Delaney sped his way to a 2nd place finish in the 200-meter dash. Sarah Hughes loves championship time and finished 3rd in the triple jump with an 11.09 meter mark. The men's 4x400 meter play team finished 6th in the race, crossing the line in a time of 3 minutes and 24 seconds. For a listing of the rest of performances from the squad, visit roadrunnersathletics.com. So now we are going to be joined here by the head coach, Jerrid Oates.
If we can get him over here. We got some fries here.
More. We have fries for
head
him.
coach over here.
I mean, TikTok, they're going to be gone by the time he decides to get up.
I mean, we might as well start munching on these.
I'm trying to
coach's fries.
Hey coach, over here.
He's missing out on them right now.
Yo, Otis. No, nothing.
So you excited for
it's playoff
RMAC
time?
tournament?
Yeah, so Sean and I are going to be actually at the Regis game tomorrow covering the men's playoff game. I'm excited because the first time they played at Regis, MSU Denver won by the buzzer beater. Then they came down here to play at Metro, and then Regis won by the buzzer beater. So I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Yeah, and that women's team making it to the RMAC tournament for the first time in a few years, and had a chance to talk with Coach Tanya Hobby after that overtime loss against Mines, and she couldn't be more thrilled. We couldn't be more thrilled that they are back. And hey,
oh, look who it is!
Look who it
is! I made it.
Glad you could make it, Coach.
Are these for me?
Yeah, they're all for you.
Awesome.
Remember last show we promised you
some food.
Yeah,
perfect.
All for you. Please take them after you're done. So yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, of course. So Coach, how are you doing tonight? You got
doing
fries.
Good.
I'm sure you're in a great mood. So coming off a tough road trip to Emporia State 2 weekends ago, what was the message coming into the final non-conference season against Sioux Falls?
For us, we wanted to shore up our defense. We get to get some guys out on the mound that haven't thrown a lot for us just because of some injuries and things like that. So, we wanted to get those 2 things taken care of before we jump into conference play, and we did a pretty good job of that this last weekend.
So the last few weeks we've been boasting about how nice the weather has been, and of course by the time it came for games at home, it was cold and it was snowy, and it actually postponed Friday's game this weekend. So while we didn't see a lot of snow at the games, how did the cold affect Friday and Saturday morning as far as the field being ready?
You know, our guys handled it well. The field was frozen Saturday morning. That's why we just kind of had to keep pushing it back. Start time. It definitely was the coldest game that we've played this year. But the guys handled it great. Didn't really affect them any, and they got out and they competed, and they played a good game for us.
So you guys finally got to play some ball on Saturday, and you guys had to push it back to 2 p.m. And you have, Beecher Strube start on the mound for your squad, and then he pitched very well in the 6 innings, earned his first win on the season. What was he doing so well to keep Sioux Falls off balance? Beecher
just commanded the zone. He hit his spots. He let our defense work behind him. He did a really good job for us. We had to kind of move our rotation around a little bit because of some injuries. So, he kind of went from being the Sunday guy to the Friday guy, or first game, I guess it was Saturday. But yeah, he did a great job. He pitched to contact, and he didn't give up a bunch of free bases, and we played good defense behind him, and we drove in some timely runs along the way.
So after Strube, it was Tony Iacovetta who went 3 innings of scoreless baseball, earned himself the save. So big time performance by that senior. Just talk about his performance and kind of where you found him. It kind of seems like he's been all over the place.
Yeah, so Yak, he did a good job for us. He was actually supposed to start the 4th game. So once we moved it to a 3-game set, knowing we weren't going to get the night game in on Saturday because of the temperatures. So I thought he handled the day really well. He's gone all week preparing to be a starter. And then we move it to a 3-game set, and then it's like, hey, Yak, you're going to go into the pen, and if we need you, we're going to use you in the first game. And he was ready for it. He was prepared, and he came out, and, his fastball command was there. We really like his slider, and he pitched real well for us.
So it seems like the theme for the weekends, the games that took place over the weekend were tight and exciting. So tell us about the first game that took place on Sunday and how your team fought through those extra innings.
Yeah, they did a good job. We kind of had some control of the game, lost control of the game, but we executed the game as we went along. We just didn't get the last hit. That was kind of the key to it is they got it and we didn't, and that's why they won in extra innings. But overall, we battled, we fought. The best part of that was that we came back and won the second game. That's the biggest part of that day was we go through and we grind through an extra inning ball game and then come back and win the second game after we lost the first one in extras.
Definitely.
So this weekend we saw Julian Garcia at the field, watching some games, supporting the team. What's next for Julian Garcia?
Yeah, I talked to Julian today, actually. He heads down on Thursday of this week, and then he starts spring training right up on Friday. So it gets going for him down in Florida. And then, depending on how he does, how he pitches, and that sort of thing, then he'll get placed from there.
Wow, that's some exciting stuff.
All right, so you guys responded after that Sunday game that we talked about by taking the rubber match against the Cougars, and that wraps up your non-conference season, and you guys will start conference play on the road next week. How do you view the non-conference season versus the conference season? And then another question on top of that, what did you learn from the non-conference team? What were the takeaways, both positive and negative?
For non-conference, it's, you're figuring out who you are, what you do good, what you do bad. People will expose you during that time, and then it kind of gives you stuff to work on as you go through it. The overall thing for us is we've got a lot of new guys, so it's getting guys out there for the first time in our uniform and doing those things. And I thought they did a really good job as we progressed. We definitely improved on things as we went. We put a good non-conference schedule against some high-quality opponents, so that's going to get us ready to jump into RMAC play. And really, you just kind of reset everything once you hit conference play. Whatever happened in the non-conference happened in the non-conference, but you can go out and take care of business during conference play, and you'll be right where you want to be at the end of the year. So
speaking of conference play, you guys have CSU Pueblo coming up. Can you give us a scouting report, or kind of what you expect between the two teams facing each other?
Yeah, I was actually working on a scouting report before I came over here, and they're kind of a brand new team, so we don't have a lot on them. We didn't get to play them last year because we had it was that blizzard over Easter that we got. So we really don't know a whole lot about them. I think they're going to have a couple power arms on the mound, and they're always going to be scrappy at the plate. They're going to play hard, and And going down there is a tough place to play, and our guys are ready for it. They're ready to get out there and get after them, and ultimately we're going to take care of us, and we're going to do what we can do and control what we can control, and go out and play 4 good games of baseball.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck. We know you have lots to do considering you have a game in about 24 hours, but thank you so much for taking the time and coming out here. Hope you enjoy your prize.
I will. Thanks for the prize.
So don't go anywhere, because next we have the interim head coach for the track and field team, Janis Christopher.
Dobinson stops on a dime, now to Cortez. The Cortez beating, count the bucket, and a foul.
If you can't get enough of MSU Denver sports, then you need to tune in to the Roadrunner Review. Get into the game with exclusive highlights, interviews, player stories, and of course the top plays that will have you jumping out of your seat. You can catch all the action on Comcast CET and at RoadrunnersAthletics.com.
Hey, nice job! Great spot!
I'm Joe Rice. I'm the Director of Government Relations for Lockheed Martin Space Systems. I transferred into MSU Denver while I was in the Colorado National Guard and after I completed my associate's degree. This was the only university where somebody actually sat down with me and helped me plan out my academic path to finish my degree and graduate on time. Reach for the stars, come to MSU Denver, launch your career.
Brought to you by your #1 volume Nissan dealer, Tynan's Nissan. Come in today and choose from nearly 1,200 new Nissans. Get 0% for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. During the Bottom Line event, lease the new Altima for only $149 per month. Gives you both efficiency and performance. Looking for an SUV? Then choose the all-wheel drive Rogue at just $159 per month. Also available with optional third-row seats. Bottom Line savings at Tynan's Nissan in Aurora and Fort Collins.
I'm Raquel Torres, senior guard for the women's basketball team.
Runners, and there's Torres, 3-point shot up and
Oh, there it goes.
Raquel Torres, the trifecta.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Andre Harris, senior center for the Roadrunners men's basketball team.
Here's Andre Harris with the jam, bobbing and weaving through traffic.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner, and we want to tell you about the Tap House's new upcoming pairing called the Blarney and Beer St. Patty's Day Pairing. This awesome event is coming up on March 11th, and it will be a 3-course pairing menu from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. that will come with giveaways and tours. Tickets can be purchased through their website at TivoliBreweryCO.com and on their Facebook page. We now welcome back Janis Christopher, the interim head coach for both our indoor track and field team. How are you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Thanks. Good. Or I'm good, thanks.
I'm doing great.
Good.
So first question, how was the first season gone for you since taking over for Nick Moss?
It went really fast. It was a good season. We had a lot of very positive things happen for us. The distance team transitioned very well under my leadership. I would say the majority of them were able to run season bests or personal bests under my training, so it went well.
So for you, who's made the biggest jump or has stood out to you from the beginning of the season to now?
Some of the distance runners that are maybe a little bit more developmental have done some very big things. The biggest improvement happened from one of our sophomores. She's a redshirt freshman. Idalie Nunez is her name. She had a personal best in the 3,000 by 30 seconds. And then Erica Ruiz, who was a transfer to our school from California, she also had like a 27-second season best in the 3,000 last weekend at the conference championship. So the distance runners and definitely the developmental runners.
So your team took part in the RMAC championship that took place in Spearfish in South Dakota. So you've been part of many championship meets at MSU Denver. How does the meet of that caliber differ from a regular meet?
The focus shifts. The focus shifts from running a personal best or an individual performance to more team oriented. So, I gave a nice little speech to them on the bus before we got there for the first day of competition, and I just talked about, this is what it means to be a road runner. This is what it means to represent our school, and encourage them to do those things on the track and to think about their team and go out and try and score some points and move up in the rankings, and that should be their main focus. So, the intensity is different. There's a lot of competition, especially in the distance races. Some of the best distance runners in the nation are at our conference meet. It's almost like going to a national championships with that kind of competition from the other schools. So definitely more intense and just a different focus, definitely team focused.
All right, so you're talking about the team, but I'm going to ask you about an individual. Julian Delaney had a really strong showing at those championships. The sophomore finished second in the 200-meter dash. Talk about him and his performance and how his season has gone so far heading into the outdoor portion of things.
Julian has looked fantastic. His coach, Keith Billingsley, that works with him one-on-one, and Keith works with all of our short sprinters, but Keith has that kid running fast. I watched him do his workouts, and you could just see he looked very smooth and quick on his feet, and that you knew that there was a big performance coming. Honestly, though, for him to finish second, that was a big deal for him. We had him ranked probably 4th or 5th going into it. So for him to finish second and get up on that podium and earn us 8 points was a big deal. Coincidentally, that time had him ranked in the top 60 of Division II in the 200-meter dash. So he was a provisional qualifier.
That's awesome. So Sarah Hughes is a name we all know, and she finished 3rd in the women's triple jump, and it seems like the senior is always, ready, and she comes up big in moments like that for her team.
She does, yeah. Sarah has had an interesting semester. She has had she's student teaching, actually.
Oh,
so she's not with us very often. She gets to come to practice about once a week.
Wow.
And be a little bit late to teach elementary school kids PE.
Okay.
So she's had a rough year, but she does always come up big. She's very poised in competition, and although it wasn't maybe her best personal jumps that she's ever had, she definitely stepped up and made the competition the best that she could be this year at that time. So to have another 3rd place finish and stand up on the podium was it was a very big deal. It was a bittersweet way to end our time together in the indoor track and field season.
So that indoor track and field season is over. You guys are making that transition to the outdoor track and field season. How does the training for the team differ from the indoor season to the outdoor season?
So indoor season it's hard for us. We don't have an indoor facility, so we train through the indoor season. So we really start to see our best times actually happen during the outdoor season. We train a little bit more of the speed aspect, and there's a little bit less endurance. So there's sort of a transition between running a lot of miles to running less miles and running faster. So training it's just a slight shift, but definitely we should start seeing our times really drop, and our best performances are on the way.
All right, so we mentioned Delaney and we mentioned Hughes. Is there any other performances that we should mention from those RMAC championships? Any other performances that stand out to you?
I spoke a bit about Erica Ruiz earlier, and she did a phenomenal job. We had just kind of crossed our fingers that she'd be able to score some points for us in the 5,000, and so she competed on the first day, and she wasn't particularly excited, I don't think, about her performance, but I felt she did a great job, and she actually was a 7th place finisher for us. So besides Sarah, she was the other person that scored our points. So Erica Ruiz is definitely came up big for us, I believe.
So Coach, elaborate a little more on Sam Berg and kind of what he brings to the table for your team.
Sam is, you're not supposed to have favorites, but I told the team already, Sam's one of my favorites. He's a distance kid that he's really just willing to do anything for the team. So, an example would be we ran some meets in the indoor season, and he would run a 3,000, and the meet immediately following the 3,000 is the 4x4 relay, and he's like, Coach, I want to run. Can I run the 4x4? And I'm like, are you sure you're ready? Yeah, I can do it. So so I let Sam run the 4x4 a lot actually this year. And distance runners aren't usually that excited to run a 4x4, but truly he's very excited to be part of our team. He's a redshirt freshman. I think he has a lot of potential to do some big things for us, and he's been running very well.
All right, Coach, the last question. What's next for the track and field team in terms of practicing and kind of what you expect to see from them from here on out?
So we have a 2-week period now where we get to just train before we have our first outdoor meet. So we're going to do some good hard training and get some of those, lots of those miles in, so that we can start running faster whenever we do get out to the track meets. We probably have 5 or 6 weeks, I would say, left of our season, of our year. So yeah, just train hard, refocus, get out there and keep making an impact in the RMAC.
Awesome, Coach. Well, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. We wish you the best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you.
And do not go anywhere, because we're going to keep it with track and field, and we're going to bring in freshman Sam Berg coming up next.
The celebration is on for Mike Dunlap.
The Skyhawks celebrate a second national title in program history.
And the winner of the 2006 Harlan Hill Trophy as Division II College Football Player of the Year is Danny Woodhead from Chadron State.
ASU! 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 Woo! There we go!
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Diana DeGette. Every day, I see the impact that MSU Denver has on our region. And education within reach can truly transform a life. Congratulations on 50 years of commitment to diversity and inclusion, and may you have many, many more.
Are you a college student that needs a place to live? Are you still living with your parents and want your own space? The Regency Student Housing is perfect for you. The community offers many amenities such as a fitness center, 2 basketball courts, big screen amphitheater, all-you-can-eat dining hall, bowling alley, arcade, free parking, and a shuttle to and from the Auraria campus. For more information, please call 303-477-1950 or visit our website at regencystudenthousing.com.
I'm Lexi Marr, senior defender for the Roadrunners women's soccer team.
These teams looking for offense, and there's Marr, the all-conference defender.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Anthony Grant, Director of Athletics at MSU Denver.
It's because of your generosity and support that our athletic programs have been able to achieve sustained success and continue to be one of the top athletic departments in the nation.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back, and we just want to quickly remind you guys to visit msudenver.com, where you can shop all the latest gear in Roadrunners sports, so you can, just wear what the team's wearing, anything from polo, sweats, hoodies. I know I bought myself a few things a couple of weeks ago, so check the website out and buy yourself some cool Roadrunner gear. And now we welcome in freshman distance runner Sam Berg. Sam, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So how did you get involved with the aspect of track and field, and did you run a lot in high school?
Oh boy, so my 8th grade year in middle school, actually, I played football up till then, and then the summer before my 8th grade year, I actually ran the Boulder.
Oh, wow.
And I actually ended up running pretty well. So I stuck with it, and then I ran all through high school, actually here in Colorado.
Nice,
So
nice.
just since then, I've been sticking with it, for sure.
All right, so your team just completed its indoor portion of the year, and now you guys turn your sights to the outdoor portion. Just talk about your indoor season and how you felt it went for you.
Our indoor season definitely better than I think we expected, for sure. We had a coaching change come for the start of the indoor season. I think a lot of our athletes handled it pretty well. Our training went well. We had a couple of really good performances coming into the conference championships, and then at conference I think we'd all peaked pretty well, and we're looking forward for outdoors for sure.
So the outdoor season is almost here, and do you run in the same events, or how is the outdoor season different from the indoor one?
So for the indoor season, there's a 3K And for outdoors, there's only a 3K steeple, which includes a water barrier. So I don't run the steeplechase, but I'll run the 5Ks outdoor for sure, and I'll run the mile as well. So it's a lot of the same races.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about you for a little bit. Where are you from, and why did you decide to come to the heart of downtown Denver and run at MSU Denver?
So I'm actually from Longmont, Colorado, just about an hour north of here. And I've lived here almost my whole life. I lived out of state for a year. But Denver has always kind of been the center of places to go when we were younger. And I really enjoy the city. So it was kind of an easy decision, really, because any direction you go, north, south, east, west, there's a nice trail to run on from here, too. It's a really good balance.
So tell us what you're majoring in and what you hope to do with that after graduation.
So I'm studying event and meeting management with a minor in sport media, actually. So I'm hoping maybe somewhere there might be a sports team that needs help planning meetings or events, or even in hotel sales, something along those lines.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so earlier you mentioned that coaching change from Nick Moss to Janis Christopher. Tell us what kind of program Coach Christopher, or what kind of coach Christopher is, and how she's been able to keep the program going successfully.
Like I said, we were all kind of came to a shock that Coach Janis was going to be taking over, but she's done a really good job, and I think people are really buying into her philosophy. She's definitely keeps everyone accountable, and she does a great job keeping everyone motivated as well. So I think she's doing a great job, and we're looking forward to our outdoor season too, having her as our coach.
Well, Sam, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. It was a pleasure having you. We wish you the best of luck this upcoming season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So before we end the show right here, we're going to give you guys the upcoming schedule for Roadrunner Sports.
The RMAC tournament for our basketball teams will begin Tuesday night. The women will head south to Colorado Springs to take on UC Colorado Springs at 7 p.m. The men, however, will head about 5 miles from campus to Regis University to take on the Rangers at 7 p.m. And if our teams advance, they will play on Friday in the semifinals. And then if they advance again, the finals will take place on Saturday. So keep up with both of those teams in the playoffs at roadrunnersathletics.com.
The baseball team is hitting on the road themselves as they take on the Thunderwolves of CSU Pueblo. They'll play in a 4-game series that will start on Friday at 6 p.m. The softball team will be back home this weekend in a 4-game set against UC Colorado Springs. The Metro State Broadcast Network will be there for all 4 games, so make sure you tune in on Stretch TV.
And the tennis teams will kick off conference play this Friday as they head to Grand Junction to take on Colorado Mesa. The women's team will also face off against the Air Force Academy on Sunday.
So that is going to do it all for today, and we want to wish our women's and men's basketball team the best of luck in the playoff games they will play tomorrow. And we also want to give a big shout out to Janis Christopher, head coach Jerrid Oates, and Sam Berg for joining us today, and we will see you guys next Monday.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
To identify situations in which sexual assault may occur.
To recognize that non-consensual sex is sexual assault.
I pledge.
I pledge.
To create an environment in which sexual assault is unacceptable and survivors are supported.
To intervene in situations where consent has not or cannot be given.
I've seen firsthand the work Metro State is doing to prepare students for success. It's focused on innovation and aligning education with the needs of employers throughout the state. From preparing students for good-paying jobs in Colorado's aerospace and aviation industries to partnering with Denver Public Schools to develop great teachers. Congratulations on 50 years of transforming lives. Keep up the good work, and here's to the next 50 years.